Good afternoon, everybody. We are here today for the problems that the industry, the hospitality industry at large, is facing because of the new rules implemented by the Maharashtra state government and the Pune municipal corporations. Let me introduce you to our association and the fellow members. Myself, I am Sandeep Singh Narang from Agent Jack's Bar. We are into the restaurant and bars, and I am the president of the association, United Hospitality Association. To my right is Mr. Darshan Rawal. He is the secretary of our association and he owns the Hotel Sapna Lodge on Jangdi Maharaj Road. Behind me standing is Advocate Ajinkya Shinde, who is the vice president of the association. To my left is Advocate Sujay Joshi, who is a fellow member of association and a working and practicing lawyer also. So guys, starting the meeting and going ahead, what we exactly call the meeting for. This meeting is taking into consideration the big problems and the big woes that our industry is going through. I would term it as the worst part of my life and my career in the hospitality industry. The lockdown and the policies of the government is nothing less than slow poison that is being given to our industry to kill our industry. I don't know why, I don't know what is going into their minds, and I don't know what makes them think that it is only the restaurant, bars and the hotels that are the reason for causing corona. There are so many more things which cause corona, and there are so many things that the government has not done as its duty and as its part to prevent this thing from happening, which nobody talks about. We, as the hoteliers and the restaurants, are the most easiest targets to catch, and we are here to protest against that. We are here to a no to the lockdown. We are here to say no to the 6 p.m. closure to the 8 p.m. closure. We are here to demand for our rights, our right at 11 p.m., our right for 1:30 p.m. closure. We follow all the rules, we follow all regulations. We follow masks, we follow sanitizers, we follow safe distancing, we follow the tables. We do everything that the government has told us, but still we are penalized. I don't know why. And we would ask the government why, give us a reason. When the Pune market yard is fully packed and it's working, when the Mandai is fully packed and it is working, why is it that we are penalized? When the bus are packed, when the planes are packed, when the roads are packed, why is it that the restaurants are penalized? Right from here, I will hand over the meeting to Darshan sir and he'll take it ahead for you, sir.
Good afternoon, all respected members of the industry. Good afternoon to all the respected members of the press who are present with us here. Thank you, all of you all, for removing your valuable time and joining us here. This is the time to be united. This association was formed a couple of months ago because last so many years, all of us are in this business. There was never a need or really a requirement of an association per se. There are many associations, but all of us, our industry, the issues that we have faced during this pandemic and the complete apathy shown towards our industry and our business from the government has compelled us to form this association. The major thing that we realized while forming the association was that our members, we do not have unity. There are so many other trader associations, they have a lot of unity. What we lacked was unity, and hence we named ourselves United Hospitality Association. So it is my humble request to all our industry members to come together, to be united in these testing and trying times. This is a black moment, a black day, a black phase of our industry. Never before ever in the last history of so many years, such a time has come when our industry has been stopped from completely doing business. Yes, there have been restrictions. There have been timing restrictions, 1 o'clock, 1:30 a.m., 4 a.m., 12 p.m., 11 p.m. And we have adhered, like sir said, we have adhered to all the rules and regulations set forth by the government from time to time. But this time, 1 year last, we all went through a very tough time. We were not allowed to do business, especially in Pune, till November because of the lockdown. Barely we started. December went in the Christmas and New Year lockdown. Again in January, February, there were short intermittent lockdowns. Last few days, we were facing the challenge of the 11 p.m. deadline. We adhered to it, we did not complain. After that, the deadline was preponed to 10 p.m. We adhered to it, we did not complain. Despite that, in the last 1 week, the deadline was preponed to 8 p.m. Many of the members expressed a lot of unhappiness for the same. We all faced a lot of business losses, but still we did not complain. Many members, despite not having funds, paid property taxes, paid the excise fees, the huge amount of the excise fees, the electricity bills. We were all forced to pay the electricity bills before March 31st, or we were threatened with disconnection. After doing all that, now we are completely told yesterday to shut down our business. We have been requesting the government from time to time, please give us correct guidelines. We are ready to adhere to them. All the restaurants have been following the COVID safety protocols that have been set down by the government. Lockdown is not the solution. We have been repeatedly saying that. And today we are here to ask the government, we are here to request the government, why are we being stopped from earning our livelihood? Our livelihood is not only for ourselves, not only for an individual person, it is for our family, it is for our extended family, it is for the hundreds and thousands of employees who are working with us, for the hundreds and thousands of vendors who are associated with us, and most importantly, I would like to say that the government is earning crores of rupees tax and revenue from our business. Then why is the government putting an axe on its own feet and not letting us contribute to their coffers? So it is my humble request to the members of the press to quote us correctly and request the government that please do not put a complete lockdown on our industry. Allow us to function. We are ready to function in two different kinds of timings also. We have a suggestion wherein we are requesting that shopkeepers be allowed a certain time and restaurants and hotels and bars be allowed a certain time. That will divide the crowd. Markets be allowed in their certain time. Morning 6 o'clock to evening 6 o'clock is not the solution, because morning 6 o'clock no restaurant and bar can be opened except for milk and agricultural produce. There is no activity that practically happens. Shopkeepers, from traders to auto parts or clothes or malls or anybody, can have their timings from 11 a.m. or 12 p.m. to evening 9 p.m. Restaurant owners need business time from 12 p.m. to at least 11 p.m. So it is our humble request to the administration to reconsider this lockdown, to revoke this lockdown, invite us, let them hear us out. We are ready to sit on the table and come up with a plan wherein we can help them control the spread of COVID, but at the same time continue with our businesses and keep earning our livelihood. I would now request our Vice President Ajinkya Shinde ji to say a few words.
Good afternoon, friends. This is Advocate Ajinkya Shinde. As my colleagues have rightly pointed out, the various problems that we've been facing on a day-to-day basis, completely shutting down our businesses is not the solution to fighting Corona. And we've been trying to raise our valid points to the government that how to tackle these challenges. The government has given us a completely blind eye. They have not taken our concerns into consideration, and they have been pressing us to pay the excise fees. The excise fees is an exorbitant amount in metro cities. It is not possible for us to bear such kind of exorbitant charges at this moment. We've been trying to recover ourselves from the previous year's losses. The additional loans that we've taken to restart our businesses, the additional investment that has gone in to restart our business, we have not been able to earn a single rupee since November. We have been trying to repay the loans that have been taken to restart these businesses. In such situation, completely shutting us down is a violation of our fundamental right. We urge the government that they give us reasonable restrictions to operate our businesses, to give us a timing from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. Sit down with us, work with us. It's been very difficult. We have around 8,000 to 9,000 restaurants in Pune. there are almost 50 members or 50 staff workers working in individual outlets. Their families are dependent on us. We have heavy rentals to bear. The landlords' families are, they do survive on the rent that we give. There are other ancillary agencies, our vendors who provide us stock. They are dependent on us. So we've been the highest employment and revenue generating industry. We've always followed and respected the government policies. We are a very organized sector, but the way government has just given us a blind eye, it's very difficult for us to perform any activity. We kindly urge, we request the government to rethink and give us heavy relief measures in these times. We are a very promising industry, but today we are seeing the worst of our days. Kindly reconsider this lockdown and please give us some relief measures. I hand over the mic to my colleague, Advocate Sujay Joshi. He will take it ahead. Thank you.
Hello friends, I am Advocate Sujay Joshi. I am a core committee member of United Hospitality Association. First and the foremost thing is I would like to thank all of you who have been present over here to attend this Zoom meeting. And before I move on as to what would be the legal remedies, what would be the legal options which we would try to find out, I would like to give an example by this arrangement of the very Zoom meeting which we have done right now. It itself shows that since the past 1 year, we have been complying to all the necessary updated rules and regulations the government has taken up. My question over here, as a lawyer and as a fraternity member of the hoteliers as well, is that if you go and read all the orders the government has put up, the government has been prejudiced with respect to having this mindset that it is the hotels and the eateries that have a gathering of people around, and those are the hub of spreading the COVID-19 virus. But I would like to ask this particular question as a lawyer as to the enactments which came into force with respect to this particular disaster, which was later on termed as pandemic, have been 10-15 years old. And since that particular time, the enactment specifically states that there has to be a provision or an anticipation of such kind of a disaster for which taxes have been enoughly properly collected and have been paid. Those who have not paid the taxes, those who have not paid the government dues, due action with respect to all pertaining statutes have been taken against them by the government. Why is the need over here, firstly, with respect to the forceful measures regarding revenue, like Advocate Ajinkya Shinde right now said, that in spite of the fact knowing this particular situation that the circulation of the business is completely shut down, you are forcing people to pay taxes, you are forcing the hotel industry to pay, adhere to compliance penalties, penal actions are being taken. There is a lot of confusion regarding repayment of loans, moratorium issues. Every time we have to take this particular issue, face losses, go to the court, wait for justice over there. Can there be some kind of a remedy wherein you can maintain the health standards by appropriate compliances and be reasonable enough with respect to all sectors of the society, including wedding halls, including eateries and joints, including restaurants, including flights, including travel agencies, to be on the same plane if the question is about accumulation of people at one particular place. What I want to say is that we are not going to hold anyone in default. We are not holding anyone in default because this particular event is an unprecedented event which has come up. But the aspect over here is that if a major sector of the business and the industry, like the hotelier sector, comes to such a kind of a demotivated and diminished value, it will be the question of our own survival, and ultimately this would lead to social imbalance somewhere. This would have a very long lasting effect because, as Darshan ji, Sarang ji and Ajinkya ji said, that it is not just closing down of one hotel, but then there are various backward and forward linkages which have an impact on various families and households, which needs to be adhered to. And if we have been supporting the government throughout, in spite of all unstable measures, it is now our right to be supported by the government when we are at this particular question of our survival. So there are various legal options regarding this particular point. I will not go into the procedural intricacies right now, this is not the right time, but I will shift my focus and focus towards the secretary of the association, Darshan ji, to take certain points of agenda on which I would like you all to ponder upon and provide your inputs as well.
Before we open the conference for the press, I would like to make one small remark. In yesterday's order, weddings up to 50 people are allowed, but restaurants, malls, multiplexes must be closed. Restaurants, malls, multiplexes where social distancing can be maintained, people can be spaced out, entry can be restricted. But weddings of 50 people together, a wedding in whichever kind of area, nobody is going to hold a wedding of 50 people in a 5,000 or 10,000 square feet plot or banquet hall. It's probably going to be in a 1,500 or 2,000 square feet hall or open area. Nobody is going to wear a mask in the wedding because they are going to keep talking. Nobody is going to wear the mask because they are going to keep eating. What is the logic by which the administration decided to continue allowing weddings and stopping restaurants from functioning despite adhering to COVID safety protocols? That is the one simple question that we request an answer to, on what basis we are stopped from doing our business. Apart from this, there are many things: loans, accumulated debt, accumulated salary repayments, taxes, compliances, rents. Our industry, the biggest issue our industry faces is we are not allowed input tax credit on GST. 90% of restaurants are on rent, and they are paying heavy rents starting from 10, 20, 30,000 to even 15 lakh rupees a month. 18% GST is charged in most cases. That GST, we are not getting any input tax credit against the purchases that we are making. So that is in itself very unfair to our industry. Every particular industry has its own slabs of GST rates. We have only one slab of 5% and denied input tax credit. Now, I would like to open the conference to the members of the press, the respected members of the press. Please ask us questions and we will take the answers as possible.
Anybody and everybody from the press is please requested and feel open to ask any of the doubts, any of the questions that you have.
Hello, I am Mubarak Ansari from Pune News. I want to know whether you are going to issue write a letter to the government today, and can you share that letter with us?
Yes, we have written several letters to the government, starting from the Chief Minister to the Deputy Chief Minister to Sharad Pawar Sahib, to Supriya Tai Sule, to the District Collector, to the Excise Commissioner, to the Divisional Commissioner. We have written several letters to the MSEB Chief Engineer requesting, one is allowing us to do our business and allowing us relief on several fronts. We will share the letters with you all post the conference.
Sir, I have another question. I wanted to know whether the business had become normal as compared to pre-COVID times.
Sorry, you want to take? We were started. Okay, sorry. Sujay would like to take.
There is one important point which I would like to make here. The entire hospitality and the hotel business or the eatery business is very much dependent upon timelines. If you try and understand this, that it is very much important for us to have our restaurants or our eateries or our joints open at a specific timeline. Sorry? Hello? Am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah. So specific timelines need to be adhered to, and those timelines are post-business hours for many of the hoteliers and the restaurants. Even if you see a particular restaurant is functioning during that particular day, the business that the restaurant does at night is much more, and there is no rocket science required to understand this particular aspect. So what I would like to say is the answer of this particular question is in the guidelines itself, which the government has issued. If the government says that for a period of 6 months, you close down the restaurants till by 6:30, it means that we are at a survival question. If the government says that you close down this particular joint which is providing lunch and dinner in the afternoon, then that particular joint is at a survival question. Post the first lockdown phase last year, we are still in the basic recovery of our capital investments itself, and there is a struggle going on with respect to prepayment of our debt. So right now also the situation is same. We are at the survival mode. The business revenues have not improved as yet. Next question.
How many members are there with United Hospitality?
I'll get you the updated count post conference. So there are categories of memberships. I'll get you the exact count post the conference.
But we have support of, I would like to quote, we have support of over 400 to 500 members in our from our industry. Next question, please.
Is there any plan to take legal course?
Yeah. So we have been very patient with respect to understanding this point, that till I go in front of the authorities to make a representation, the authorities would not understand. It has been an year or so that on various occasions, various authorities have accepted our letters, but they have not paid any attention to us. We are working out on legal options. It does mean that we have a strong agenda in place to approach the court against whatever is going on unreasonable. If any particular aspect, even after these particular guidelines come up, which require legal intervention, we would approach the court regarding that.
Next question, please.
I would just like to add in some more information that we have been following the existing protocols that were laid down on us. We have been abiding to all the policies and rules and the SOPs that have been given to us. We are a very organized sector, as I had previously said, and we've been taking care of all the policies, all the SOPs that have been laid down to us, even the 50% rule that has been laid down on us. Still, I feel that the government has failed to recognize the crowd pockets, and knowingly or unknowingly we've been targeted. We again would like to highlight that please do come and whatever the restrictions that you lay down on us, or we are ready for any reasonable restrictions that you laid down on us, we will take care of all the SOPs, but kindly do not completely shut us down. It is going to be a major chain breaker. The whole monetary, the whole financial cycle is going to be damaged because of this. It is a huge industry employing lakhs of people, and again connected to a lot of ancillary agencies, further giving employment to their staff. So kindly do reconsider this. We have been taking care of all the SOPs till date that have been laid down on us. If we fail to do so, you can impose fines or penalties as per the norm, but kindly do not shut us down. Do not shut us down.
I would like to add here, it is the duty of the government to provide checks and balances. If people are flouting rules, if people are flouting and violating the rules and the norms set up, it is the duty of the government and the administration to enforce them, to discipline them, and they can penalize them in various ways in terms of monetary fines or revoking of licenses or so many other ways which the government already knows and has. We are ready to adhere to everything. For a few people who are probably not following the norms, the larger industry cannot be punished and penalized like this. This is unfair. It is absolutely against the principles of natural justice. We are requesting the government again and vehemently requesting, please reconsider this. Like Ajinkya Shinde ji said, the entire financial cycle of every businessman in this industry has completely gone for a toss. The government has forced us, they have provided us the CLGS scheme, they have forced us to take loans to repay our existing loans. So that this is not a way of providing relief, and even though 90% of us have availed of that scheme, we should be then given us the chance to run our business to repay those loans. Who is going to eventually be responsible for this? If we are not allowed to do business, who is going to take responsibility for this? Is the question.
From the press fraternity, anybody who would like to ask something? Any kind of question, maybe, please?
Kindly mute your mic. Requested to mute your mic.
So I would call this post conference that we have taken to an end. I thank all the members and the press people and all the reporters who removed their time to come and talk to us. I just request you to understand the grievance of the situation that we are in. The hospitality industry is not just the thousands of hotels that you see on the road. They are the lakhs of people who are connected to them, and the crores of families who are connected to the lakhs of those people who are working over here. Now, the livelihood and the life of all of these people are at stake. And a shutdown is not the answer to save people. To save people, you need some policy decisions, some plan of actions, some implementations to be done on the ground level, like hospitals, like dispensaries, e-medicines, and a proper implementation of everything. Just a shutdown and a lockdown, which we had for 8 months, is not the answer. The last 8 months of the shutdown did not help. How will this new shutdown?
The shutdown was done. I'm quoting big industrialists who are much more experienced and knowledgeable than us. Industrialists have said that the lockdown was done, the previous one, to prepare the health infrastructure and be ready for this kind of a situation. It has been 1 year up. Why has the government failed to prepare that health infrastructure? And because of the inadequacies or inefficiencies of a certain administration, why should a normal citizen be penalized? Thank you. I also want to open for another 2 to 3 minutes. I want to open the conference to any members of our industry. If you have any questions, we are here to help you answer. Please feel free to ask any questions. We don't want it to be a one-sided conversation. We are united. We want you to voice your concerns. We are here to listen and help, and we are together. Please feel free.
All the persons who have joined in the UHA, the United Hospitality Associations, and all those who would still not join, anybody, please feel free to ask whatever doubts that you have, and we are here to answer them.
Hey Darshan, this is Manoj Pandey.
Sorry, can you speak a little softly? Yeah.
Yeah, can you hear me out?
Yeah,
Am
we
I
can hear
audible?
you. Yeah, we can hear you.
So, just wanted to know because based on the discussions, and maybe you already have covered it and I missed it, so then I'll be sorry about it. But I just want, since the press is here, I think we should let them know about the stand, whether we will be paying the excise duty or not, because the government has not allowed us to run business, but they still want us to pay the excise duty, which is, completely unfair from any angle, whether it is a social angle or a legal angle. I think we should spell it out very clearly that this is association's decision, and we will not pay the excise fee unless we are allowed to do business. That's just my request. Thank you so much.
Sujay ji will answer that, yes.
Manoj ji, this is a very good insight from you, and there is a balance which the association is trying to maintain on 2 particular grounds, is that we should not be into a retaliation mode with respect to any of our stands. This would have a long-term adverse impact on our hotelier members also. So what we are trying to do is, taking your particular question in a very affirmative way, we are trying to find out as to what is the legal remedy towards non-payment of this particular excise penalizations, fees, renewal charges, whatsoever the case may be. And secondly, what is the balance wherein the interest of the government should not also hamper and our interest should not also hamper. And cordially, we would like to move this particular aspect by taking a cordial stand at the initial step. So we would require some time with respect to evolving out a stand on this particular aspect. That particular time would be mostly of another 72 hours, 74 hours maybe. After that, we would disclose it out to the press and to all our members as to have their inputs and insights on it.
Regarding the excise fee, I would just like to add up that we've been, I would like to quote this to the press, that the excise fee in metro cities is a very exorbitant affair. The fee ranges for around 7 lakh rupees, which gradually increases by 10 to 15% every year. A 7 lakh rupee and an increment of 10 to 15% on that every year. Now we have reached such a stage that the excise fee, the amount of yearly excise fee is almost equivalent to the yearly half rental we pay. And it's very exorbitant, and slowly we are forced to shut down these businesses. So yeah, we are working on that as well. We request the government to kindly demark some categories as to the payment of excise fees from the restaurants depending upon the area, or we are ready to work it out. But the excise fees, as a lot of hoteliers and restaurant and bar owners are concerned, is a very expensive affair these days.
To quote an example, what Shindeji is trying to say, that somebody in the rural area is paying 60-70,000 odd rupees and doing business, charging similar amount of money for a 30 ml peg. Somebody in the city who is running a 100-seater restaurant is paying 8 lakh rupees as fees and not able to charge similar fees. A 5-star hotel who is charging 5 times the value that a normal restaurant is charging is also paying similar fees. A normal permit room beer bar in the city who has probably 30-40 seater, like we say the quarter bars, they are also paying similar fees. So there is a lot of inequality in terms of the fee slabs, and it has been our appeal to the government since very long to rework on this slab, because one thumb fits all rule doesn't work. Any more questions from any of our members or press?
So we thank all of you guys for joining the meeting, and whatever questions and comments that we have during this meeting, we'll answer back as soon as we are ending this meeting. Thank you all of you. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you
and
once
we are all
again.
there with you.
Thank you.
Thank you.